Awesome. Awesome. So we are recording. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I know this is going to be a short call because everyone on the call, including myself, we are excited about that 1 p.m. call. You see, Leah, today I didn't wear my bow tie. Today I decided to go casual with my cap on, knowing that you will have your cap on and you don't have your cap.
She's going to get her cat.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I love these. There you go. There you go. Life waving from Texas.
What I did do is I put makeup on for you.
Oh, that's what it is. That's what it is. I tell you, what I love about this business is there are so many modes and modality to thrive. I am learning from Brenda and Deborah and Leah on the events modality. I can say unequivocally I have not been on that path, but I'm learning. So if that's you and you are more event centric, then follow Leah on Facebook. You know, follow her posting. Look at Brenda. Brenda, do you have your background? Brenda has an amazing background. Brenda invested in her business. She has some table covers, some posters. Brenda, show off your background if you get a chance. I don't know. You may not be home. You may be somewhere else, but Brenda.
Yeah, I'm at home. I'm just in a different room.
You're in a different room. Gotcha.
Yeah, but I can definitely show it.
Dr. Stacy and Laura, they grew their business in leaps and bounds, more from Facebook and patch parties. You know, so
no, not from Facebook. I'm going to correct you.
Zoom.
We did not build on social media for the first 12 months.
Oh, wow.
At all. It was belly to belly.
Wow.
Because we wanted to show the elder population, you do not have to do this on social media. We did it without using social media. And now that's a whole nother aspect that's blown up. So I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I just wanted to make a correction there.
No, please interrupt me. And not just interrupt me, but correct me. But yeah, so those are three. There's belly to belly, there's social media, there is events, and I'm sure Leah, you can chime in and share some other modes of doing this business. Terry Jones on here. Terry's been a childhood friend of my wife, Terry, for 50 plus years. They've known each other, and Terry Terry, I see you as the evangelist. You know, you has just been evangelizing these patches, and Terry's just a giver. You know, there's some folks that are givers, and then there are some folks that have the spirit of giving. Terry Jones, you have the spirit of giving.
Thank you.
And you are sowing seeds, and I'm telling you right now, you are in the season of your harvest. So I did all that to make up some time. Well, I was genuine as well, of course, with Terry, but that was some makeup time. I want to pass this mic over. The next two voices that you will hear are Dr. Bryce and Leah Stanzi. So Dr. Bryce will touch on, well, Dr. Bryce is an MD. He's a member of our church. He's a member of our team, and he's going to really touch on the science and tech, and Leah will touch more on the patch per se. This is literally a mirror image of Tuesday nights with Dr. Stacy. So Dr. Bryce, with that, I'm gonna pass the mic over to you. I can't wait to hear you. So Dr. Bryce, you have the mic.
Thank you, Dr. Ray. So I'm so excited to be here this morning.
Yes.
So today we're gonna share on the GHK copper peptide. I've called it the healing touch. And the reason why I've called this molecule the healing touch is because it does thousands of things in the body. So you know that GHK copper peptide can modulate the action of about 4,200 genes in the human body. So
Wow.
that means it can increase the gene expression of about 2,600 genes, and it can suppress the action of about 1,500 genes in the body. So it plays a very important role in our healing process and so much more. So what is GHK copper first? So it's a tripeptide. Tri mean three. So it's a combination of three amino acids. So it's glycine, histidine, and lysine. So this peptide, when it is released in case of tissue injury most of times. And in young people, let's say, for example, a 20 years old man will have a concentration of about 200 nanogram per milliliter of GHK copper in his plasma. But compared to an older person, about 60 years old, it will.
Dr. Bryce, watch it. Older people, okay. Oh, you said older people, 60 years old. There are a couple of 60-year-old on the call right
Okay.
now.
Yeah.
I'm just teasing, Dr. Bryce. Go ahead.
So let's say 80 or 90.
I'm just teasing.
Okay, so that will dramatically decrease and will be like about 80 nanogram per milliliter. So you see the big difference. So as we age, that concentration will decrease. So this presentation will not only talk about what GHK copper does and how we can naturally increase that concentration in our plasma. So earlier I talked about gene, the expression of gene. So what is expression? What does it mean to express a gene? So a gene is just a fragment in our DNA that can be transcribed into messenger RNA. Is as if our body was sending a message. So the gene will send a message saying, okay, I need you to produce, let's say, collagen. Collagen is a protein. So the gene will be transcribed into messenger RNA, and then the messenger RNA through the transfer RNA will be translated into a protein. And depending on the need of the body, we'll get different kinds of proteins. But there are some genes also that control the action of other genes. They are like police officers patrolling and controlling how other genes work. So because we don't want to overproduce some proteins, because that would cause some different problems in the body. So so to come back to GHK copper, so it has some powerful protective and regenerative effects on the body. So first of all, the GHK copper peptide, as I said before, it will increase the skin regeneration. So there were some experiments that were done on people with wrinkles, and the experiment was about 12 weeks. They used some creams containing GHK copper, and after 12 weeks, there was a significant decrease in the depth of the wrinkles, and that's a major effect. And it is widely used in the cosmetic world for that effect, and also after surgeries, plastic surgeries, it is used as an injection or creams to accelerate the repair, the wound healing. So GHK copper is also implicated in the growth of new vessels and nerve growth. So for example, when somebody has a cut, the GHK copper will be released, and then it will activate the production of some growth hormones that will promote the growth of new blood vessels, and that will participate in the wound healing. Also, people who have, for example, some nerve injuries in the peripheral nerve system, for example, that GHK copper peptide will also help in the growth. It will accelerate the process of innervation. So the nerve will grow back at the faster pace. So when we go to the effects on antioxidant and anti-inflammatory, the GHK copper also has those properties. So GHK copper can be used as a powerful antioxidant and anti-inflammatory. So the antioxidant, the role of the antioxidants is to remove the free radicals. And the free radicals are deadly to our cells. They will just pierce the cell membrane, they will pierce the nucleus, and then destroy all the genetic material inside. So, and with all we eat and our environment, we accumulate a certain number of free radicals in our system. And we need a strong antioxidant effect to get rid of that. So I'm sure many of you already heard about glutathione, for example. This is one of the most powerful antioxidants there is in our body. And the GHK copper helps increase the level of glutathione in our body. And how GHK copper is able to have an anti-inflammatory role, it will decrease the production of pro-inflammatory cytokines. So the cytokines are also proteins that are produced in order to increase the inflammatory response. And with inflammation comes pain, you have redness, swelling, and all that. So the GHK copper peptide is able to suppress the overexpression of those pro-inflammatory cytokines. So that means it has an effect on pain. It can reduce considerably the pain. And it has been proven also that GHK copper has a suppressive role on the genes that are expressed in patients who suffer of COPD. Like COPD is a chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. So based on the science, it has been discovered that about 127 genes are implicated in the pathogenesis of COPD. And the GHK copper peptide is able to suppress those genes. So that means people with COPD can somewhat recover some lung function. So GHK copper is also helpful in preventing the side effects of cortisone. Cortisone is a steroid hormone that plays an anti-inflammatory role, but it has a negative effect on the wound healing. So GHK copper can attenuate that adverse effect and promote wound healing. And one of the important things, I think maybe that's the favorite thing I like about GHK copper, is that it suppresses the fibrinogen. So fibrinogen is a clotting factor. So when you have excess of fibrinogen in your blood becomes so thick, so viscous, and it can easily clot. So it can cause myocardial infarction, it can cause a stroke or a pulmonary embolism, and so on and so forth.
Wow.
So GHK copper can reduce the concentration of fibrinogen in the plasma. So it will reduce the risk of cardiovascular events. And also it plays an important role in cancer treatment. So, but I'll put a disclaimer here. It doesn't mean GHK copper can treat cancer, but it can be added to, it can be used as an adjuvant to other treatments that are in place already, the chemotherapy or radiotherapy and so on. Because most of cancer cells have what we call, they have something that is called, they can inhibit something that is called programmed cell death. So all the normal cells have that in common. After a certain time, when the cell becomes defective, there is a programmed cell death called apoptosis, and those cells will be destroyed without causing any inflammation in the body. But the cancer cells, the tumor cells, are able to escape that mechanism. That's why they live longer and they can continue to replicate. So what GHK copper does, it can suppress, it can actually reset those cells, those tumor cells, and make them become more normal. So they will be more sensitive to the chemotherapy. So this is a major effect of GHK copper peptide. So another thing also that GHK copper does is it will activate the system that is supposed to clean up our body from the defective proteins. So when the proteins become defective or when they are degraded, there is a system called ubiquitin protease system that is supposed to get rid of those defective proteins. Because when they accumulate, especially in the central nervous system, they can cause dementia and one of the most notorious is Alzheimer's disease, which is that due to the accumulation of some proteins in the brain. So GHK copper will stimulate the system and accelerate the process of getting rid of the debris. So that means somebody who is starting to have mental decline, cognitive decline, if that person is able to increase the GHK copper concentration, they'll end up having mental clarity. They'll be able to recuperate some cognitive functions, which is huge.
So Dr. Bryce, I know we got about another, I don't know, about 3 to 5 minutes. I love the subtitle. When you sent me the theme, the theme was GHK copper peptide, the healing touch. And this is probably a really good time to mention our disclaimer. Notice one thing that Dr. Bryce keeps saying over and over and over. He keeps saying GHK copper peptide. At no point in time, not even once, has Dr. Bryce said the patch is this or the patch is this. This is coming from a medical doctor talking about GHK copper peptide. You know, Dr. Bryce is a medical doctor, but again, he's not your doctor. He's not my doctor. And so we are here. This is more or less an educational session talking more about GHK copper peptide. In a few minutes, Leah is going to talk to us about the patches. So we're making no claims for healing with respect to a particular disease. So Dr. Bryce, as you wrap up, talk to us about that subtitle. Why did you say the healing touch, GHK copper peptide? We got about 3 to 4 more minutes.
So the healing touch, because as you have noticed, the GHK copper touches almost everything, every aspect of our body, and it can help in so many different ways. Even for diseases that were thought incurable, today we have hope. Hope that something can be done. And do you know that even people who suffer from anxiety and all kind of sensation, like psychological sensation like that, anxiety, and so GHK copper is able to even reduce anxiety. It can work as an anxiolytic. Is it not amazing?
That is amazing.
So it touches almost everything, the nervous system, central nervous system, the peripheral nervous system, the skin, it touches the lungs, even the blood vessels. So it's just amazing.
Wow. 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 Well, Dr. Bryce, this will be one of many sessions that can we give Dr. Bryce some Zoom applause, thumbs up, high fives, whatever the icon is. Someone was putting in the chat, where are you from? Dr. Bryce, do you want to share? Because we've been here and people have been chatting. Is he from Cameroon? Where, Dr. Bryce, go ahead and share, where are you from?
Okay, so I'm from Burkina Faso. So those who don't know, Burkina Faso is a country in West Africa, and we share border with 6 countries. We share borders with Ghana, Togo, Benin, Mali, Niger, Ivory Coast. And so it's landlocked, and it's a French-speaking country. So I've graduated from med school in 2014. So, and then I came to the US to further my education, and it has been a blessing to be here because I've learned so much, and I'm so grateful for this country.
Outstanding, outstanding. Well, the very next voice you are going to hear is our Senior Presidential Director, Leah. And just to let you know, we started at 12:10, so it's 12:27. So this is exactly 17 minutes of Dr. Bryce, if you just want to edit out those 17 minutes and listen over and over. I know there was a ton of things that Dr. Bryce was saying that just went right over my head, but you know what? It's only 17 minutes. So I can just press play, press pause, pray, applause until I get it. And what I love about it, he really broke it down for us. So with that, I want to pass the mic over to Leah, and Leah may even have questions for Dr. Bryce, so Leah may go right into the patch. But Leah, just take it away. You have carte blanche on this. You are the next voice.
Thank you, Dr. Ray, and thank you, Dr. Bryce. I'm just was super excited to hear that you joined this company, and knowing that you've got the reach to so many people that need this technology. And I do have to say, I did take 2 full pages of notes. A lot of great, and it's things that I can now incorporate into when I'm talking to people, right? GHK, here's my question to you, Dr. Bryce. Did you learn about GHK-CU copper peptide in medical school?
Not at all. It was never mentioned even once.
Wow.
And I'm assuming you looked at Dr. Picard's 5,000 studies and research on GHK, and all of a sudden now you're able to just talk about it as if you've known about this peptide forever. And that's what I love.
Yes, exactly. I've seen tons of researches that were made about this miraculous peptide, and I was wondering why it wasn't made, why it's not widely known, because it's been in the scientific world since 1973, has been discovered since 1973. And it's only now that is more vulgarized and people start talking about it.
Well, I love that. And I'm assuming you're talking about it with your peers because that's I feel like everything is so divinely guided. And I think God brings people into our lives that he has given the ability to make the biggest impact on people's lives.
Right.
And so I'm so blessed and honored that you're a part of this group, and I look forward to learning more from you because you've really done a deep dive into GHK, and now I've learned a few things today that I can share and talk about, because that is that GHK was coined the fountain of youth. In the 70s, everybody was looking for what's the fountain of youth. Everybody had something, right? Come here, go there, put this on, take this. So it's just exciting. It's exciting to have you with us. And I know that you know a ton about the patches, and I'm just looking forward to grow and learn with you, my friend.
Thank you.
So Dr. Ray, is there anything specific you want me to talk about?
Leah, before we open up for Q&A, because we want to wrap up around 12:45, give everyone about a good 15 minutes to exhale before we get on Peter and I can think of his name right now, Eric. But if you can, if there's anything you can touch on, and when the transition occurs, like on a Tuesday night with Dr. Stacy, there's usually the medical doctor, the practitioner, and then the patches. If you can just mention a connection between just that patch and those crystal lattice, and connecting that with copper peptide, just a clear connection between Dr. Bright
I can absolutely.
and you.
This is my favorite part of conversations with people. But you guys, David Schmidt is just a brilliant visionary, and what he's introducing in November is going to blow people's minds. And no, I do not know what it is, but the things that I've heard him talk about are, in his clinical studies, he shows a 100% success rate in whatever this new technology is. And the patches, I think, came out at 99.8% success rate.
Wow.
But so this technology, you guys, this is just the most simple thing. The simplest gift is what this is, right? This is a gift we've been given to share. But the reason it's so simple, you guys, is there's nothing on here. This is not a typical patch like we have with a pain patch or a nicotine patch or an estrogen patch, where there's actually something on there transferring through the skin. That's the greatest part about this. This is non-transdermal. But that little piece of fabric in the middle, David has invented a crystal lattice structure. Now, you guys, it's an organic solution, and think of a liquid solution, right? Not the things we have in the kitchen, but that amino acids, salts, sugar crystals. And the great thing about this, you guys, David makes that. David makes that formula. So it's not outsourced. It's embedded in this little piece of gauze, and it crystallizes, and it forms a very specific crystal structure. So it's also reflective at that point, because we know crystals have a reflective nature to them. So here's what's happening when we put it on our body. Our bodies emit a low-level infrared light. And we know this because if we are outside, we can't see people unless we have night vision goggles. But there's a very specific wavelength of that light that reflects a signal off the patch back into our body, signaling our body to turn on nothing more than our GHK-CU copper peptides, which, as you heard, have so many benefits in the body. Well, one of the things, so David Schmidt has studied this phototherapy technology for 20 years. You guys, we're a 20-year-old company. 20-year-old company. X39's only been on the market for 5. But you wear this patch for 12 hours, signaling the body to activate and elevate that GHK. Well, guess one of the things that controls? A protein that activates and elevates and controls our body's stem cells. Now, stem cells, you guys, We've heard about those 20, 30 years ago. We've known the controversy behind it, the expense of it, the risk of it, right? But what they didn't tell us is what those stem cells actually are doing in our body, and the fact that we lose our activity as we age. That's the ticket. That's the aging process. No one tells us the process. They tell us the symptoms. Well, by age 35, we've lost 50%. You know, Dr. Bryce talked about the genes. The genes get punctured, get infiltrated upon by foreign things in the body. Therefore, they start to develop issues. They're not properly communicating with each other. So that's what the stem cell does in the body. By age 60, which I know Dr. Ray mentioned, there's a lot of us on here that are close to that or past that. You guys, there's only 8 to 10% of our stem cells still present in the blood, meaning we don't have very much GHK happening, right? That's the whole thing, that GHK, because as Dr. Bryce said, wound repair, neurological, vascular, all of the things it takes care of. So we're going to activate and elevate 12 hours. And remember, there won't be any side effects on any medication or supplementation that you're doing. We know that because why? We're not putting anything into the body. We're just giving the body a little device, a little light device, reflective sticker to do what our bodies were designed to do. So that's the simplicity of the science. You know, I tell people when I talk to them, how long do you need to patch? Think of 1 month for each decade you are old. That's the starting point. That's the starting point. And drink your water.
Wow.
So with that, Dr. Ray.
Thank you, Leah. That was amazing. What I love about is the simplicity in which Leah just shared and the simplicity in which Dr. Bryce just shared. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know about anyone else on this call, I am going to listen to this recording over and over and over. Terry Jones, it looks like you had a question for Dr. Bryce. Guys, we literally have 8 minutes. We're going to wrap up at 12:45. So we started at 12:10. So this entire video recording will be 35 minutes long. I see we have a hand raised. Terry, help me out. Terry is my Candace, I see your hand is raised. Go for it.
Wow, wow, wow. Dr. Bryce, thank you so much for all you've shared. As Leah said, I've been hearing about GHK, but today I got it on a different level than I've heard about it before. And I'm particularly excited because my sister has been a psychiatrist for 55 years. She graduated from med school, was one of the first Black psychiatrists in the United States. I have another friend that I just introduced to our technology last night, who's a much younger doctor, but is also very excited. And I cannot wait to share this video with them because I know getting to listen to you talk about GHK, to Leah talk about the technology behind the patches, they're all in. And so that's more people that are going to be helping more people get healthy. That is my total mission, is to help as many people as possible reclaim our health, because it's our divine birthright. And as we align with God's purpose for us, there's no stopping. So I'm so excited. And I just wanted to share that and say how grateful I am. Thank you, Dr. Ray, for hosting this call. And I do pray that you'll share the recording with me so I can pass it on.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And just to let everyone know, if we can just lift up Candace in prayer, she is believing Leah to go manage her this weekend, and she will. And she will. So if this video can provide some jet fuel for that, by all means. But there'll be some more jet fuel because there's some prayer warriors on this call. We'll be lifting you up in prayer to go manage her. And let us know when you do. Anyone else that have a question for Dr. Bryce? We have about 6 minutes left.
Thank you. Amen. Thank you.
Anytime. Anytime.
Dr. Bryce, this is Terry Jones. I just wanted to ask you if you could reiterate a little bit about the peptide and cognitive behavior, because like you said, Alzheimer's is a really big issue right now. And I have some family members that actually experience it. So I'm really excited to hear how I could help them in that area.
Okay. So the pathogenesis of Alzheimer. So what happens is that there is a protein that is supposed to be broken down in the nervous system. Now, when that protein breaks down, it's supposed to be eliminated. It's supposed to be cleaned up by the ubiquitin proteasome system. It's like the trash people, those who come every morning and or every week to get our garbage and go and dump it somewhere. Like this is exactly the same thing, the same process. They patrol the whole body and they try to get together like all the dead proteins, all the defective proteins, and then they carry them away. But when the system is defective, there's accumulation of defective proteins.
Wow.
So especially in the limbic system, the hippocampus. So all that will affect our cognition. It will affect our memory. The person will not be able to make new memories, and sometimes even the old memories will be lost. So this is one of the process of Alzheimer. And to take it a little bit further, but that's for those who have Down syndrome. In Down syndrome, for example, in Down syndrome patients, they are at risk of developing early onset Alzheimer, because that same protein that is implicated in the pathogenesis of Alzheimer disease occurs in the same gene. So on the same chromosome, I'm sorry, the chromosome 21. So people who have a trisomy 21, which is called Down syndrome, are at risk of developing early onset Alzheimer because it's on the same chromosome. But for older people, it's due to the accumulation over time.
Wow. Wow. Thank you, Dr. Bryce. Someone just asked where in Africa, Burkina Faso, and I don't know how to spell Burkina Faso, but that's where Dr. Bryce is from. We have exactly 2 more minutes. Who will be that taker of that 2-minute? I see Brenda Barlin is unmuted. Go for it, Brenda.
Just thank God for Dr. Price. I mean, you were truly, truly a godsend. I mean, knowledge is truly power. We just continually pray for the mindset of people that it will change their way of thinking. I guess I feel sometimes I feel helpless, but not helpless, because we have a big job to do. We have to change the mindset. People are so quick to go and get the prescription medications, so to speak. And then you get like 3 long sheets of side effects. I mean, really, so that's what my thinking is. I just pray that I can continue to be in the position where I can share this word with people, to let them know that there are helpful alternatives, and there's also blessed alternatives. And so I just thank you so much for your knowledge and your expertise. God is truly blessing you. And as I say, knowledge is definitely powerful, especially when you get the right knowledge and the true knowledge. And I can't believe that this GHK-CP CU copper peptide was not in the medical form
Wow.
of education.
Wow.
I mean, it's just amazing. That makes me think, what else is missing?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I just thank you for your for the gifts that God has given you and how He is going to use you in a mighty way to help spread this, because you have the medical expertise. And I just thank you so much. God bless you.
Absolutely.
Thank
I
you.
just thought of one thing as we transition. Candace, I don't know if that was an old hand raise or a new hand raise. That was old hand raise. Okay, awesome. I just thought of one, since this is mostly brand partners that are on this meeting, what an awesome way to end. I want to pass the mic back to Leah. And Leah, you have no idea what I'm about to ask you, but it literally, I just had an aha moment. Leah, can you talk about, for about 2 minutes, the importance of balancing the knowledge, gaining the knowledge and insight, which is like the Dr. Stacy Tuesday nights, right? We just had like a Dr. Stacy Tuesday night meeting, and the importance of working on your business, which is what we're going to hear more so at 1 o'clock, and working on the events and working your lists. So there's a balance. There's a balance. We'd love to hear your wisdom, Leah, on the balance of a call like today versus a call like 1 o'clock.
You know, a call like today and a call like the one at 1 o'clock is one of many tools that we have available to us to educate people. Because like you said, Brenda, that's part of our agreement with God for giving us this simple patch. He wants us to be teachers too. And that's a big, and some people we gotta start over in kindergarten with, right? And then some people they're already at the first level of college in terms of being open-minded and being wanting to look at something. And we all know why this is not taught in medical schools, right? It's the government, big pharma, it's all one big chaotic mess. Right? But this is, you know, the tools. You had mentioned the events. You guys, I love events. Why? Because I get to meet new people. And I love meeting new people because I never know what role they're going to play in my life. Maybe it's nothing. But man, what if it's something? What if it's something exciting? You just don't know. The training that we're getting ready to do, that with this simple tool that we can share this technology with someone in 2 minutes and then switch over and start using our tools, start using the recording, start using the testimonials. And you know, just us all growing together. I've grown so much in the last 3 years just by the books that I'm reading. I'm growing my mind. The more I know, the more I want to know. And that's the most exciting part of this is we have different avenues that we can build this business on. If you're social media, great. Reach out to all your followers. I do recommend that you don't mention the word LifeWave or don't mention X39 because people will search it and they will find some idiot that's selling it on Amazon and buy it. And then we've lost someone. So there's little things you can do where in terms of social media, but keeping it simple, using the tools, they've been perfected over the last 5 years. You know, Peter's getting ready to also launch, Dr. Ray, something that is geared toward the younger population. Finding that younger generation, the 30-somethings that are wanting to be entrepreneurs. So that's going to be an exciting tool to launch, which we can all use, right? It's easy for us to talk to people our age because we're all suffering with something.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Amazing. Leah, thank you. I like how you just, I know this is not a word. I'm about to make up a word. You just bucketize. You put it in one bucket, and the bucket is tools. So whether it be educational tools, whether it be marketing or onboarding tools, we have a plethora of tools. So everyone, it is 12:50. We got about 10 minutes to take a bio break, get hydrated. Thank you so much, Dr. Bryce. You were amazing. Thank you for amazing upline, Leah. And this recording will be posted in our Telegram account. And Candace, not to worry, I'll make sure that Candace, just write my number down. Yeah, my number 312-590-1121. Just go ahead and text me your number. I'll make sure that you have the Zoom link. Everyone, I'll see you in about 10 minutes. If you can't make it, a big shout out to the Fillmores in Atlanta. I'll see you on Monday, Terrence, and we'll look forward to doing some planning in Atlanta. Take care, everyone. God bless, and I will see you, some of you, in 10 minutes. Dr. Bryce, again, amazing.
Bye.
Amazing. Thank you, Leah.
Thank you, Leah.
Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. This was amazing.
Yes, it
Let-
was. Yes, it was. It was groundbreaking.
Yes, it
Yes.
was.
Yes.
All right. Bye-bye.